Good morning students. In previous class, in MS subject 8 class, I started cell the basic unit of life. In that, I explained about different types of cells, that is cells in mastic, cells in onion peel, cells in cheek. Okay, and also I explained cell is the basic unit of life. Every living creature, either unicellular or multicellular organism, body made up of only one cell. Cell is the basic unit of life. If there is no cell, there is no life. In unicellular organism, one cell can perform all functions. In multicellular organisms, different cells can perform different functions. So, either unicellular or multicellular organism, cell is the basic unit of life. Okay, if you will observe in cell, we can find out majorly three parts. That is cell membrane or plasma membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm. So, if you will observe in cell, we can find out center portion of cell nucleus and a membrane which surround the cell is called cell membrane and the jelly-like substance that is known as cytoplasm. So now, I will explain about discovery of nucleus. Very important. Already in previous class I explained cell was discovered by Robert Hooke. No. Now I will explain about discovery of nucleus. A scientist called Robert Brown. He observed nucleus in orchid leaves. Orchid. It is a flowering plant. He observed. Robert Brown observed nucleus in orchid leaves. In previous class, I also explained how to prepare, how to observe cells in school lab, how to prepare a slide. Okay, so he is the scientist Robert Brown observed nucleus on orchid cells. Okay, now observation of nucleus. So nucleus is the after discovery of nucleus. So, after discovery of nucleus, he concluded that Robert Brown, nucleus is the cell control room. The integral part of cell is nucleus. So, if you look at the human body, all activities will be controlled by brain, no? Like that, cell. In cell, all activities will be controlled by nucleus. So, this is called as cell control room. All activities in the cell controlled by nucleus is the major part of cell. The center portion of cell, in between of cell membrane and in between of cell, we can find out nucleus. In between of cell membrane and nucleus, we can find out cytoplasm. In cytoplasm, we can find out cell organelles. Organelles means parts of cell. Cell can be observed with a compound microscope and parts. If you want to observe cell organelles, you have to use electron microscope. Now, observation of nucleus in onion peel. So, for this, you have to take an onion, cut into pieces. After cutting, in between of each piece, we can find out a thin layer. Thin layer. Take out the layer in a watch glass. Watch glass means like this will be watch glass for some methylene blue. Methylene blue. It is a chemical which is available in chemistry labs. Take a onion, cut into small pieces. In between of each piece, we can find out a thin layer. Take out the thin layer carefully with the needle. Keep it in a watch glass. Now add one drop of methylene, a few drops of methylene blue. Now take out the layer, peel on a slide. Put a water drop on it, glycerin on it, and cover the material with the cover slip. So, what is the use of glycerin? Already explained in the previous class. So observe under microscope, we can find out cells like this. We can find out cells like this. See here. This is the cells in onion peel. If you will observe a microscope, we can find out the central oval shaped or spherical shaped structure, blue structure, that is called nucleus. It is called nucleus. And if you will observe, in onion peel, it is a plant cell, no? We can find out cell membrane and we can find out cell wall. What is cell wall? In animal cells, we can find out another layer, extra layer, that is called cell wall. Cell wall is the additional layer which only present in plant cell. Absent in animal cell, this cell wall will give extra support to the plant cell. This cell wall will give extra support to the plant cell. So here we can find out nucleus, a blue color dot which is present in the center of cell known as nucleus, and the jelly-like substance called the cytoplasm. So this is the how to observe nucleus in the onion peel. Now I can explain about I will explain about nucleus in cheek cells. For this you have to take a thin layer from the mouth, cheek, with the help of toothpick. Okay, now keep the material in a watch glass and add few drops of methylene blue. Afterwards, take out the take out the material from the watch glass. Keep it in a slide. Cover with metal cover slip, and we can find out, if you look at the microscope, we can find out cells like this, circular in shape, and the center portion of cell is called a nucleus. A blue colored dot in the center of cell is called a nucleus. So if you will observe, here the cells are spherical in shape, circular or spherical in shape. If you will observe cells in onion peel, we can find out rectangle in shape. So if you look at these two activities, we can find out onion peel, the cells of onion peel are rectangle in shape, and the cells of cheek cell are spherical in shape. The center portion of cell, a blue colored dot in the center of cell, is known as nucleus, and the membrane which surround the cell is called cell membrane, and the jelly-like substance, that is called cytoplasm. In cytoplasm, we can find out different cell organelles. If you want to observe nucleus and cells, we use compound microscope. If you want to observe the parts in it, you have to use electron microscope. Electron microscope helpful to magnify the living things up to 10,000 times. So if you observe these two activities, we concluded that nucleus present in the center of the cell. Cells have different shapes. Okay, if you will observe in unicellular or multicellular organism, the size of organism determine the number of cells but not cell size. Cell can be observed whether it is elephant or in man or in amoeba or any unicellular organism. Cell can be observed with the help of microscope only. The size of organism determine the number of cells but not the cell size. So this is about observation of nucleus in onion peel and cheek cell. Now I will explain about diversity of cells. Diversity means differences. This topic helps to explain all cells does not have a specific shape. Different cells have different shape. Already we observed cells in onion, they are rectangle in shape. Cells in cheek are spherical in shape. So if you will observe, different cells have different shapes and perform different functions. Now I will explain about unicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms means body is made up of only one cell. That's why they can be observed with the help of microscope. If you will observe multicellular organisms, we can find out different cells, tissues, organ systems and organisms. So, whether it is unicellular organisms or multicellular organisms, cell can be observed with the help of microscope. Unicellular organisms are first discovered by a scientist called, already I explained in the previous class, again I repeat, Anthony von Leeuwenhoek. Antoni van Leeuwenhoek, he is the person who observed unicellular organisms under microscope. These unicellular organisms, he can find out the organisms in pond water. He observed a drop of pond water under microscope. He find out several thousands of microorganisms present in a drop of pond water. There he observed first organism, that is amoeba. Do you know amoeba is a unicellular organism, can be seen only with the help of microscope. Now I will draw the diagram of amoeba, very important in the exam point of view. Amoeba. This is amoeba. Do you know? Keep it in mind. Amoeba does not have a particular shape. So if you will observe in amoeba, we can find out a center of cell. Amoeba called a nucleus. That's cells which have nucleus known as eukaryotic cells. The cells which have nucleus is called eukaryotic cell, and this is called cell membrane, and jelly-like substance inside of the cell is called cytoplasm. So amoeba does not have different parts like us. Why? Because the body is made up of only one cell. That's why they have a simple structure. They are simple creature. So if you will observe how they perform different life processes. Do you know about life processes? Life processes. So all life process means the daily process will be known, that is respiration, digestion, transportation, excretion, sending waste material. All this takes place within the cell. If you will observe all these life process performed by multicellular organisms with the help of different organs. We have different organs. We have different systems. Respiratory system, digestive system, excretory system, reproductive system. No, these systems help to perform different life process in multicellular organisms. But in unicellular organisms, all these life process takes place within the cell. So they have to perform this life process. They have special vacuoles. Very important. They have special vacuoles. With the help of vacuoles, they perform different life process. That is, first one is contractile vacuole. This contractile vacuole helpful to send waste material from the body. How they send waste material? They absorb waste material from the body like this. Swells means ubbadi, and this contractile vacuole moves from one place to another place. After that, the cell membrane dissolves and send waste material to outside of the body. Like this, waste material sent with the help of a vacuole known as contractile vacuole. Food will be digested with the help of food vacuole. Food vacuole which helpful for digestion. So the digested food absorbed by food vacuole and the digestion takes place within the vacuole. After completion of digestion vacuole, the vacuole may burst and send digested food to all parts of the cell. So, to perform different life process, they have special vacuoles. That is, contractile vacuole for sending waste material, food vacuole for digestion. We have digestive system, excretory system. No, they have special vacuoles to perform all these activities. They are called contractile vacuole and food vacuole. So, this is about amoeba. Amoeba have very important. They have finger-like projections. No, they are called pseudopodia. What is meant by pseudopodia? Pseudo means false. Write down on your notebook. Pseudo means false. Podia means feet. Padam. They are not real feet. They are formed. They appear at the time of movement. The finger-like projections may appear. After completion of movement, the finger-like projections may disappear. At the time of movement, locomotion. This pseudopodia helpful for locomotion. Locomotion means movement. So these finger-like projections helpful for movement. At the time of movement, the finger-like projections may appear. After completion of movement, the finger-like projections may disappear. So that is called pseudopodia. Pseudo means false, podia means feet. They are not real feet. They appear at the time of movement. After completion of movement, the finger-like projections may disappear. So this is about amoeba. Now I will explain about another unicellular organism that is called Chlamydomonas. If you will observe, at the time of rainy season, we can find out some green water on ponds. No, that is due to presence of a alkaline called Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas. The green color water due to the presence of Chlamydomonas. If you will observe, this is the diagram of Chlamydomonas. So this Chlamydomonas like this. This is the chloroplast. This is flagella. With the help of flagella, they can move toward that. So this is the unicellular organ which present in green water. This is the chloroplast. Chloroplast present in only green parts. That's why they are green in color. So if you will observe amoeba and Chlamydomonas, amoeba moves with the help of pseudopodia. Chlamydomonas moves with the help of flagella. They are unicellular organisms. These two are very important in the exam point of view. Draw a neat label diagram of amoeba and draw a neat label diagram of Chlamydomonas. They last like this. So these are unicellular organisms which present in pond water. One is amoeba and the one is Chlamydomonas. These two are made up of only one cell. All process takes place within the cell. That is unicellular organism. So up to in this class we learnt about discovery of nucleus. Robert Brown discovered nucleus. It is the center portion of cell which helps to control all activities in the cell. That's why nucleus called as cell control. And also I have explained how to observe nucleus in onion peel and how to observe nucleus in cheek cells. The cells of onion are rectangle in shape and the cells of cheek are spherical in shape. So they have nucleus in the center portion of cell. So they are called eukaryotic cell. In onion peel, this is a plant cell which have an additional layer that is called a cell wall, which will give external support to the plant. So do you know, if cell wall is absent, plant cannot stand. This will give external support to the plant. If cell wall is absent, plants cannot stand erect. So and also explain diversity of cells. Means different cells have different shapes and perform different functions. In unicellular or multicellular organism, cell is the basic unit of life. And also explain structure of amoeba and structure of Chlamydomonas. So this is about diversity of cells. In the next class, I will explain about cells in plants and also I explain different cells in animals also. Okay? Thank you, children.